Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Vicaretti here. I actually just hopped on here real quick so I could say hello to you guys, and I just wanted to upload a PowerPoint that I did. Mr. Hahn tried to attach it to your emails and letters that go home to your parents and your guardians. However, it wouldn't attach to the email. So I just wanted to hop on here just in case you guys did not see it from your teachers. This is just another fun thing that my kids did while we were eating breakfast. So we were able to play with our cereal. So we use Fruit Loops, but you can also use Fruity Cheerios or any kind of cereal that you have in your cupboard. But here we did Fruit Loops, okay? So one of the things that we did, and you can see my kids here, okay? What we did is, here's the lesson. We took our cereal and we poured it out, and we got the cereal from school. So I know that Lackawanna Martin Road is offering free cereal, and I know they usually use Fruity Cheerios, so you might be able to do this with them. So what we did is we poured them out, and the first thing that we did was I had them separate all of the Fruit Loops and all of the cereal by color, okay? As you see here in the picture. Okay, there's my daughter and my son, and they separated their cereal by certain colors. Okay, so then what we ended up doing is I had them count them. Okay, so I had my daughter Maggie tell me how many reds she had. I had my son Dominic tell me how many reds he had, and we went how many blues, how many purples, how many greens, and we went on and on until we ran out of colors. Okay, and what I did was I wrote down all of their numbers. Okay, so after that, what we did, we ended up graphing their numbers. Okay, so what we did is we ended up drawing a box. Okay, and here's the graph. All right, so along here, I wrote down the numbers. So I counted by fives. Okay, so box 1 was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and so on and so forth. That's how we did it on the side here. That would be your x-axis, okay? So over here on the bottom, we did the colors of what cereals we had. So if you know Fruit Loops, they are the color of a rainbow, so we decided to do it in rainbow color. So down here, I had one column named red, one column orange, one column yellow, one green, one blue, one purple, okay? And this right here is Dominic's numbers, okay? So Dominic had 37 red, so he wrote that down here. He had 25 orange. He had, I think that says 27 yellow, 20 green, 39 blue, and 27 purple, okay? So what we end up doing here is after he wrote down his 37, he went up. And remember, we were going up by fives. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Here's 35, and then here's 40. Where does 37 go? It's in between, right? It's in between 35 and 40. So what I did is I had him draw a line there, and then he colored that whole thing red because that's the color that was represented, okay? Then we moved on to orange, okay? He had 25 orange pieces of cereal, okay? So what we did is we counted up by fives again, and we went up to 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, okay? I had him draw a line, and then I had him color that whole column orange, because that's the orange pieces. And we moved on further and further, okay? That was 27, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then that's 30. Where does 27 go? It's 27 falls in between 25 and 30, right? So we went halfway there, drew a line, and we colored it. And we went on and on until we were done, okay? And then here's a picture of them all finished, and that's my daughter Maggie. See, she obviously had way more blue than my son did, okay? But my son had way more red, which, ironically, my son's favorite color is red, and he had more, and my daughter's favorite color was blue, and she had more. So they actually kind of worked out to them, and they were really happy to see that, okay? And what we did was, it's actually, because it is the rainbow, and a lot of people are looking into scavenger hunts for rainbows, we ended up taping this and hanging out into the window, so when everybody walks by, they can see the graphs that we did, and they also get to see a rainbow, which usually brings happiness, right? Okay, so that's one thing that we did, all right, with the Fruit Loops. And then here, what we end up doing afterwards is we did a quick little OT, which is fine motor skills here, okay? And what we did is I got yarn. So you can use yarn or dental floss or any shoelaces, whatever it is that you have that's clean, of course. You don't want anything dirty. So you don't want to use your dirty shoelaces. And what we did is we ended up stringing it, okay? So here I had my daughter string her cereal. So Fruit Loops had a hole in it, so Cheerios do too. So you could string it on cereal and make sure that you tie the first one on the bottom. You do a little knot and then you string all you got. And whatever color they ended up picking, we ended up answering a question. Which down here, so if my son or my daughter picked the color red and that's what they put on their string, they had to answer this. Name a food that you like. Okay, if they picked an orange piece of cereal, they said they had to answer, what outside activity do you like? Yellow was what makes you scared. If you picked blue piece, name your favorite food. Green, name an animal. And purple, do an exercise. And they had to, run around my house or skip or do some burpees or whatever activity that I told them to do, and they ended up doing it. And it was a fun little way for them to actually play with their food. They got to count with it. They got to graph it. Then they got to make a nice necklace. And once we got to the end, we ended up tying it together and they wore it. And then you know what they did? They ended up eating it for a snack. So then they end up getting to eat their Fruit Loops, okay? So we want to make sure that we wash our hands before we do this so we stay clean and cleansed. And that way we don't share our cereals, because once you touch it, it should be yours. But this is the little activity here, okay? So you work on OT and some counseling, talking about your feelings and carrying on conversations and making sure that we talk nice to each other with a nice tone, and we get to enjoy a lovely snack. Okay, so that's my Fruit Loop activity. Again, you could do it with Fruity Cheerios or Trix or whatever. The only tricky thing is about Trix is that you aren't going to be able to make a necklace, but you certainly can eat it and pour some milk on it if you want to and have a snack. Okay, so I hope that works out for you guys, and if it works for you and your family and you're able to do this, I hope you have fun with it. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.